What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. And there is some breaking news in the college football world going on that we have to discuss. So, according to reports, Florida and Billy Napier have reached an agreement for him to become the next head coach of the Florida Gators football program. Now, I am really surprised at how fast these events have transpired because it seemed like not too long ago, Florida recently announced that they were going to be moving on from former head coach Dan Mullen following their disappointing loss to Missouri. And then like a day or two later, rumors started coming out that Billy Napier was the top target for Florida and their head coaching search. And then a couple of days later, here we are, November 28th, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Reports have come out that Billy Napier and Florida have came to agreement for him to take over the reins of becoming their new head coach of their football program. Now, if you are a Florida fan, you have to be incredibly happy and excited about this hiring because Billy Napier has been one of the more hot names in the head coaching market of college football. He's turned down numerous job opportunities, and this Florida job's just too good of an opportunity for him to pass up because check me out. So last week, I got in an argument with some Oregon fans on Twitter. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys use Twitter or not, but Twitter introduced this new feature called Spaces. So pretty much Spaces are like a big conference chat and things like that. So Oregon fans were pretty much trying to down the whole state of Florida. And I kept trying to tell them, I said, listen, if Miami, Florida State, or Florida were able to find a head coach that could really recruit, they would automatically be a national championship contender year in and year out without even having to leave the state of Florida. And those Oregon fans were like, man, you're talking crazy, man. You think that a program could just recruit one state and become a championship contender? And I told them yes, because a lot of people fail to understand just how easy it is if you're able to find the right head coach who can properly recruit the state of Florida, how easily you could become a contender, because there are so many 5-star and 4-star prospects in the state of Florida that literally all Billy Napier has to do is walk outside and take a 45-minute drive, and there you are. It's like 5 4-star recruits. You look at Jacksonville, you look at the Broward, Dade County area, South Florida in general has a bunch of talented high school players down there. Like, there's just so much talent in the state of Florida that for Florida fans, they've been frustrated because for some reason Florida has struggled to get some of the big name players coming out of the state. As a matter of fact, it has to be really frustrating as a Gator fan to see all these talented 5-star, 4-star players leaving for schools like Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State that are outside of the state of Florida. There are literally players leaving the state of Florida to go play elsewhere. Heck, Jaheim Singletary, 5-star cornerback, played for my high school that I graduated from, Riverside High School, ended up committing to Georgia, and he's in Jacksonville. So one of the main problems with Dan Mullen is that he didn't really care about recruiting. Now you got a guy in Billy Napier who is known to be a great recruiter and knows what it takes to win in the SEC. Not only that, but he's had several stops at schools like Clemson, Alabama, a brief stint at FSU. Like, Billy Napier, I think he is the perfect guy to turn around this Florida program. Now, I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I don't think Billy Napier is one of those coaches that you hire right away and year one, you're already contending. I think this is going to be like a 1 or 2 year process because he's going to have to make up for the lackluster recruiting that Dan Mullen and his staff have done for over the last 2 years. So I think it's going to take like a 1 or 2 year turnaround for Florida to start, making some noise. But this is a fantastic hiring. Billy Napier has had a lot of success at Louisiana. Before his arrival in Louisiana, they weren't really great. And during his 4 years that he's been the head coach there, they have been 39-12 under him. 2018, they went 7-7. 2019, they went 11-3. 2020, they went 10-1. And as of right now, in 2021, they currently are 11-1. Playing Appalachian State and the Sun Belt Conference Championship game this week. So Billy Napier has done a really good job of turning around that Louisiana program. And I think that for Florida fans, you are going to be incredibly happy with what Billy Napier is going to do to this football program. You're finally going to be able to recruit at an elite level, something that you should be doing. There's no excuse for why Florida shouldn't be bringing in a top 10 recruiting class. There are a lot of Florida fans some Florida fans out there who feels like some people are having unrealistic expectations in terms of where the Gators should be recruiting wise. And I disagree with those statements saying that, it's being overly unrealistic to expect Florida to be recruiting at a top 5, top 10 level every year. I think that's a bunch of bull crap because you're in the state of Florida. You don't have to drive around too long to find talent. It's not like you're Mario Cristobal in Oregon and you got to fly out thousands and thousands of miles to recruit. Like, all the talent is in your backyard. All you really have to do is just recruit the state of Florida alone, and you already have a national championship caliber roster. So I'm really excited for what Billy Napier is going to do at Florida. Me being a Miami Hurricanes fan, I wanted Miami to hire Billy Napier, but we're still stuck with Manny Diaz, and we don't even know how long he's going to be the head coach for Miami. God help us. Pray for us. Hopefully we can find our guy. But I really like the Billy Napier hiring, man. Like, I think if you are a Florida fan right now, this is probably what you can expect. I feel like Billy Napier, maybe not. He coaches the bowl game. He's definitely going to coach the championship game this week for Louisiana. But they probably made the decision, the hiring process so fast because maybe they're hoping that Billy Napier can come in and hopefully make some things happen with National Signing Day, early National Signing Day being just around the corner. So hopefully they're hoping that he can come in and maybe be able to get a couple of recruits, even though, he just arrived on the scene. But I think that's kind of the reason why Florida was so fast in this process. And also, if you know who your guy is and the interest is there, then why prolong it? You get what I'm saying? Like, if somebody is your number one candidate and the interest is both there mutually, go ahead and make it happen. And there are a lot of programs who always prolong these head coaching hirings. They take like 2-3 months. They got to interview all these candidates and narrow down their list. But if your top target has interest and the interest is there, go ahead and make it happen. So this is a really good hiring for Florida. I think Florida Gator fans are really going to be happy with this, and I think they finally have their guy. Now, of course, there are going to be some pros and cons. Every head coaching hiring has some risk and reward to it. I feel like when I look at Billy Napier, I don't really see any red flags that should stand out, that should make Florida fans worry. Maybe you can say the fact that this is his first big time job coaching at a major program. I can understand that, but I haven't really seen any red flags because I watched a good amount of Louisiana football. He's pretty good when it comes to player development. He's pretty good in game day situations. Haven't really seen anything with him having bag time management issues and whatnot. And on top of that, he's really phenomenal at developing players on his team. Like, he's had several players from that Louisiana program that have made it to the next level playing on Sunday, such as running back Elijah Mitchell, who currently plays for the 49ers. You also have Kevin Dotson, who was a starting offensive guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers before he got injured this year. So he's done a pretty good job of developing players and getting them to the next level. On top of that, the the current group that he's coaching up right now with Louisiana has a good amount of experience, a lot of seniors, and a lot of guys who probably are also going to be playing on Sunday. So I think that's an added bonus when you look at how good he is when it comes to recruiting and, player development. So I think that it's going to take at least 1 or 2 years for Billy Napier to start getting the ball rolling. And then once the ball gets rolling, I think Florida is going to end up being a monster, and it's not going to be too long before we start seeing Florida actually really start competing with Georgia, not only on the field, but for recruits also. I think there's going to be no more recruits leaving the state of Florida to go play out of state with Billy Napier if Billy Napier is as good as a recruiter as we think he is. So you guys let me know how you guys feel about the Billy Napier hiring down in the comment section down below. Make sure that if you guys are watching this on YouTube, that you go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more college football videos, NFL content. Also, make sure that you guys check out the JT Sports Podcast. Every video that's uploaded on the channel is available in audio format on every single podcasting platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. The JT Sports Podcast is available. All you gotta do is type in JT Sports Podcast on any podcasting platform. It should pop up, or go to the description down below and click one of the links, and it will take you directly to it. I appreciate you guys for watching. I will see you guys with another video shortly. What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. What the heck is going on in college football right now? So, reportedly, Lincoln Riley is leaving Oklahoma to become the next head coach of USC. I'm just as lost as pretty much 95% of you guys watching this right now. Like, I did not see this coming. Now, a couple of days ago, not even a couple of days ago. So recently, somebody asked Lincoln Riley about him and the LSU job, and pretty much he said that he wasn't leaving for LSU. You see, a lot of people said, I thought Lincoln Riley said he wasn't leaving. He lied. Well, he didn't say he wasn't leaving. He said that he wasn't leaving for LSU. Gotta read in between the lines. So, I mean, what does this mean for Oklahoma, and what does this mean for USC? Well, for USC, you finally got a hire. There is not a doubt in my mind that Lincoln Riley is not going to have success at USC. He is the best offensive mind in college football. He's also pretty solid on the recruiting trail. He's going to bring in a great staff, and going to USC is going to be big for him, because now you're in the state of California, so now you have access to all this California talent. Shouldn't really be that difficult for him to recruit, shouldn't really be that difficult for him to have success, and I expect Lincoln Riley to have success at USC right away. And I know that may sound a little bit premature, but I mean, he is a great X's and O's guy, and also he's a pretty solid recruiter as well. So when you have somebody who's a pretty good game day coach, who's a pretty good strategist, knows how to put his teams in the situations to win based on the current personnel that he has to work with, I expect Lincoln Riley to at least be able to win 9 games right away next year in 2022 for USC. Now, we don't know the details of this contract, but gosh, man, like, just when we thought college football couldn't get more chaotic, not too long ago, less than 24 hours ago, we had Alabama being taken to the wire by Auburn. As a matter of fact, being taken to multiple overtime periods against Auburn, barely winning. We've had so many chaotic upsets, and now we have all kinds of chaos going on in the head coaching carousel right now. Like, who would have thought that Lincoln Riley will leave Oklahoma for USC? I didn't see this coming. Dallas tried to hire Lincoln Riley not too long ago. He turned it down. LSU's been trying to hire Lincoln Riley. He turned that down. And now he's going to LA, where the lights shine the brightest, to the Coliseum to become the next head coach for USC. And I don't blame him. We definitely know that the money's going to be there. We know that checkbook is finna be fat, boy. And another thing is, like I mentioned earlier, the recruiting. He has access to pretty much some of the best players in all of America play in California. Like, Lincoln Riley going to USC, man, is going to be not only just a great hire for USC, but also good for the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 outside of Oregon and Utah, there hasn't really been too many other great teams in the Pac-12. I mean, UCLA has been okay this year, but I mean, this is big for the Pac-12 conference, because now you add in USC. Now for Oregon isn't going to be able to dip their hands in the goodie bag anymore and just take whoever they want to out of the state of Cali. Now you're going to have to compete with Lincoln Riley. So now Oregon and Marshall Christian Ball have some competition. Now there are a lot of people saying that Lincoln Riley was scared to play against SEC competition and whatnot. I don't think that's the case. I just felt like Lincoln Riley just sees a better situation in USC versus what he has to work with in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma isn't a bad program. It's a really good program, top level facilities, you know, really respectable, really been good under Lincoln Riley ever since he's taken over as the head coach. When Bob Stoops steps down, he's been to the college football playoffs, just hasn't really been able to find a way to get into the national championship. Now you look at USC and all the talent that's in that state, like, it's just no way that Lincoln Riley is not going to have success. And I'm just so lost right now. Like, it's just so much chaos going on right now. Remind you that I'm recording this like literally like a minute after this news has just came out. Like 17 minutes ago, there was a report out there saying that the USC Trojans are targeting Oklahoma head coach to become their next head coach. Keyword, targeting. Next thing you know, 5 minutes after this comes out, breaking news. Lincoln Riley is going to be leaving Oklahoma to become the next head coach of USC. I'm like, bro, y'all just said he was just being targeted. Now all of a sudden he's going to become their next head coach? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on right now? I'm just so shocked right now. Like, there's just so much that has been going on within the last 24 hours that I don't even have a word for. Like, college football is crazy right now. Lincoln Riley is becoming the next head coach of USC. Think about that. We didn't even think that Lincoln Riley was even considering leaving Oklahoma. Like, it must be something going on. It must have been something going on between him and the people who run the operations there at Oklahoma. Maybe they're not giving him everything that he wants. But golly, man, if you are USC right now, man, you're probably looking at your phone the same way I was looking at my phone. I was just looking at the notification pop up. Look now, ESPN is not reporting it. Y'all see that? It's wild, bro. Like, look at that. And you see the notification I was just talking about. They just said 18 minutes ago, USC was targeting Lincoln Riley. Then 8 minutes after that came out. Now they're telling me he's going to become their next head coach. What is this madness? What is this? Are you serious right now? Are we serious right now? Am I dreaming right now? Like, I really don't know what to say about this. And I know you USC fans probably looking at this like just, wow. You just look at this and you can't believe it. You probably going on Google like me, looking up everything, going on Twitter, trying to figure out, is this real? This is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is real, people. So with Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma for USC, I mean, what else is going to happen? Is Mario Cristobal really going to leave Oregon for Miami? Because, I mean, at this point, nothing is off the table. At this point, like, we thought we seen it all this year in college football. But apparently, the coaching carousel is just going to be as wild as the regular season. What is going on right now? You guys let me know how you guys feel about this hiring. Lincoln Riley's decision to leave Oklahoma for USC. Let me know how you guys feel about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe for the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. Make sure that you check out the JT Sports Podcast. Every video that's uploaded on the channel is available in audio format on every single podcasting platform. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, the JT Sports Podcast is available. All you got to do is type in JT Sports Podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. It should pop up. Or you can click the link down in the description and it will take you to whichever podcast you are interested in listening to. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys shortly with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast.